All right, happy Wednesday night, everybody. It's a What If Wednesday here in the Arctic Air Studios. If the air gets too Arctic, you know what to do. Call the bear if you're in West Texas. They'll get your heater up and running real quick. All right, we got a ton of stuff going on tonight. It's What If Wednesday, where we do alt history. And today we're talking about what if Texas Tech never hires Tommy Tuberville? Instead, what if they went with Ruffin McNeil? We have that, but there's a ton of like real time breaking news, portal news for Texas Tech offensive line. We've got Bill Belichick taking the job at UNC. Rich Rod coming back home to West Virginia. The man who could have been, if we'd done another what if Rich Rod doesn't turn down the job at Texas Tech in 1999 and takes the job? And it's not Mike Leach who gets the job. All of that, whatever you want to talk about tonight, this show is going to be about your questions and comments. I can already tell. So get them rolling in tonight. Let's do it in three, in two. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com. You start your day there every day, checking out the Raiderland hot links, the hottest, freshest links from around Raiderland and beyond. I figure if it intrigues me, I think you guys are going to like it. So we put it on the hot links. We give you the question of the day every day and all sorts of other stuff waiting for you at TheRaiderland.com. So that's why you go there. Now, we're brought to you in part tonight by Domino's Pizza, Domino's.com. It's midweek. Pizza sounds pretty good. Get the app, all right? Make sure you got the app on your phone. The next time you're ready for pizza, you're not hunting and stumbling and trying to figure out how to do it. You hit that app. Maybe you're picking it up on the way home. Maybe they deliver it. You can do the hotspot thing, whatever you're doing. Make sure you have that. And then, of course, South Plains College over in Levelland. A lot of great Red Raiders started off as great Texans. The road to Raiderland runs through Levelland. And maybe you're looking at continuing education. Maybe you're my age, or a little bit younger, or a little bit older. You're looking at doing something different. You call South Plains College. All right? Great stuff over there in Levelland. So that's what we got tonight. Let's see. All of the communications brought to you by United Supermarkets in Market Street. Picked up a little dog food on the way home today, so that's good. The dogs are not going to starve. They actually have real people food. It's so busy this time of year. You're running around, you're doing everything. The prepared meals at Market Street are fantastic, and you can hit the hot deli. You can get sandwiches. You can get, I mean, anything. Unbelievable stuff they got. You name it, they got it there at United Supermarkets. Let them help you out during the holidays. Let them take care of a meal every now and then. James on Facebook giving us the thumbs up. Craig also on Facebook. So we got Facebook in. I'm looking for my YouTube people, our YouTube channel growing every day. I'm looking for my Twitter people as well. But Craig says the talking box is on. Indeed, the talking box is on. So that's what we got going on tonight. Like I said, a lot of real time interesting stuff going on. Do we believe that Bill Belichick's going to win at North Carolina? Why? Why do we think that? Why don't we just automatically go that the guy is going to drop down as one of the greatest NFL coaches of all time, and it's going to translate in Chapel Hill in this day and age? Now, of course, he doesn't have to worry about a salary cap anymore. So I guess what they're going to give him $100 million, and he's going to get all the players. He develops player. Why do we think it's going to work? I have as Chris Beard used to say, nobody respects Bill Belichick more than me for what he's done with the New England Patriots. He's also the guy that couldn't win at Cleveland, but that's another story. Why do we automatically think, or not we, but why do people automatically think it's going to be great there at North Carolina? Now, he's still got some juice in the name, I'm sure. But who has more juice right now in the college game? Deion Sanders or Bill Belichick? Who do you think players are more lining up to go play for? Bill Belichick or Deion Sanders? You know? It's an amazing story, and not so amazing if you know Belichick's history, his dad's history, the college game, and everything else, that he would go do that. and he was desperate to coach again. And the NFL said no. And that's why he's going to North Carolina, because the NFL said no. Nobody wants to let you run our NFL franchise. James, I don't think Rich Rod would have worked at Tech. Clash of culture, in my opinion. Well, the clash of culture was his wife. His wife came out, saw Lubbock, hated it, and told the search firm, no, we're not coming here. And that's when it defaulted to Mike Leach there in December of 1999. But Rich Rod going back home to West Virginia. You're not coaching in the Big East anymore, Rich Rod. But the actual What If Wednesday question is, what if Texas Tech doesn't hire Tommy Tuberville in 2009? 2010, technically, January. I know I kept trying to go on vacation that year when they were firing Leach and all that was going on. And me and my wife kept trying to like go over to Ruidosa, and the Leach thing blows up, got to come home. And then we're over there, and all of a sudden, hey, are we cool to go? Can I go out of town? You think anything's going to happen this weekend? Nah, Tech's not going to do it. Boom. All of a sudden, they're hiring Tommy Tuberville, and I'm in Ruidosa. It was really kind of funny. If Tech never hires Tuberville, what happens? Do they hire Ruffin McNeil? I pose that question. What happens if, in the most logical explanation of not hiring Tuberville, if the Tech brass doesn't become intrigued by a guy who'd had an undefeated season and got squeezed out of the college football only +2 playoff thing, what happens? What do you think happens? It's probably Ruffin McNeil. Obviously, the interim coach. Can you smooth over the ruffled feathers within some members of the staff on the Mike Leach debacle and firing? And what if Ruffin says, I'll do it? I'll take that job. Then what changes? What's different? Our man Jacob on Twitter, greetings. Love the sudden expertism about an O lineman nobody ever heard of a day ago. Great time of year. Yes, that's right. In the portal today, we find out, coming to Texas Tech out of Illinois State, home of the Redbirds. I broadcast a game from Illinois State. What the hell's the town that's in? Now I can't even think of the town. I broadcast so many games for so many years. You have Hunter Zambrano. He was the number 4 ranked offensive tackle in the portal by On3, which is a legitimate deal. 6'5", 305, injured for most of the year. So the offensive line money now going to Hunter Zambrano. Guys go in, guys go out. There you go. Down there, Craig, Cleveland is just the mistake by the lake. Talking about Bill Belichick early in his career, struggling. This show is going to be about you guys on the comment line as we hang out, brought to you by Domino's Pizza, Domino's.com, South Plains College, United Supermarkets, making everything go through tonight. What if Wednesday, what if Tech doesn't hire Tuberville, they hire Ruffin McNeil? What do you think happens over the next 5-10 years? There would be some interesting dominoes, as they always are, and that's why we do the What If Wednesday. So we'll get your thoughts on that. Real-time stuff happening. Rich Rod back to WVU, KWVU in the morning. Bill Belichick to North Carolina. Do you think he'll win there? Why do you think he'll win there? The transfer portal coming, going. Don Williams, great story, great article on Lubbock Online. That's the newspaper, the Avalanche Journal, on Sheil Wood, the new defensive coordinator. You absolutely looked at Houston and said, you can't hang with our junk. It's incredible. You're giving him $3.96 million through 28, 190, 1.2, 1.25, 1.3 on the average salaries. He was getting $750,000. I mean, you just high played him into the crapper on Sheil Wood. whether he wanted to or not, to come here. You know, so he's got that story. The average coordinator salary, I think, in the Big 12 now is 1.1 million. Fake Natalie Maines might be real, might be fake. We don't know. They're real and they're spectacular. Dear Hyatt, how are you? I'm good. I am fine. Why I think it will work for Belichick at UNC because he's great with millennials. Look at his girlfriend. I think that will translate to great recruiting. He obviously is recruited well. I don't know anything about the young lady other than the pictures I've seen. Good job, Bill. Way to go. Knock yourself out. I know he's moving into the girls' dormitory this weekend so he can stay with his girlfriend. So that, I mean, that's a concession that North Carolina had to make that work out, you know. But you got to do what you got to do, right? You're North Carolina. You're a basketball school. Quit trying to pretend you're a football school. Chris, I think record-wise, Tech would have been the same with Ruffin. All right, so and that's the question of the day is what if Wednesday? What if Texas Tech doesn't hire Tuberville? Then who do they hire? The most logical explanation probably would have been Ruffin McNeil. So then what happens next? And we get into the what happens next, and this is where it gets really kind of fascinating to me on what happens next. Now, the record would have been the same, would have been different. Maybe, maybe not. Don't know. If Ruffin is hired, then Lincoln Riley may not go to OU. He didn't go to OU initially. Where did Lincoln Riley go? We'll get to that in a moment. Why do you have so many listeners on X? I hope they can get the help they need over the holidays. I have no idea what that means. Don't know what that means. Lincoln Riley stays as OC at Tech, learns how to properly cook a brisket. All right. So Ruffin doesn't get the job. He leaves, goes to East Carolina, ends up hiring Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley goes there, quarterback coach, OC, and everything. We know how that plays out. So if Ruffin gets the job in 2010, does Lincoln Riley stay? Is everybody kind of placated and everybody gets over their butt hurt about Mike getting fired and everything that went on? And the coaches that are on staff look around and go, we got a pretty good deal going here. We can keep the party going. We've got Ruffin who can keep the defense going. We can make Lincoln the offensive coordinator, quarterback coach. We can hold on to a few guys, and we can keep this party going. If that transpires, if Lincoln Riley doesn't leave Texas Tech then and becomes the OC under Ruffin McNeil, then all sorts of interesting things happen, don't they? They don't go to East Carolina. They, in turn, don't come back to Oklahoma under Stoops because they got a gig. So that changes the trajectory of Oklahoma. That most likely, if Ruffin McNeil gets the head coaching job, Lincoln Riley never goes to Oklahoma as the OC. He's the OC at Texas Tech. And we see, okay, well, what happens there? How long does this go on? 2, 3, 4, 5 years? Are they winning or are we not winning? Whatever happens. But most likely you don't see, because either they're having success and Lincoln Riley parlays that success into a head coaching job, not at Oklahoma, but somewhere else. SMU, all right? Louisiana Tech, something like that. So that destroys that timeline there at Oklahoma in Norman. Because, again, remember, they're coming back from East Carolina. The other thing it changes is the trajectory of Cliff Kingsbury. That Kingsbury at that time, he's just getting out of the NFL. He's just easing into like basically a volunteer assistant coaching job. And if you hire Ruffin in 2010, Kingsbury's not coming in 2013 as the head coach, no matter what he does. If he gets the same gig at Houston and A&M and he coaches Johnny Manziel, he ain't coming there. Now maybe he comes in in 2013 as the offensive coordinator if Lincoln Riley has left to take another job if things are going good. So now the Kingsbury timeline is delayed by 3 or 4 years. Again, you assume under this deal that Ruffin McNeill is winning and you're doing what you did under Tommy Tuberville. They're not going to run Ruffin out for doing that. They're not going to do that. So for that 2 or 3 year, 4 year window, you're bumping along, you're going to bowl games, you're doing stuff, and everybody's like, hey, that's cool. All right. Except for people calling into the Williams and Hyatt show, who would have been mad. You know? So now maybe Lincoln leaves in 2015. A good 3 to 5 year run, something like that. At this point, Kingsbury has served as an offensive coordinator. He's looked good. He comes back home. He takes over the offense. You know? That's why we love the alt history, because everything now changes. And things are changing now at Oklahoma because you're not getting Lincoln Riley in behind Bob Stoops, and Bob Stoops is getting crazy out there, and they're going to run him out because of the Joe Mixon problems. And they say, hey, we're going to fire your ass, or you're going to, well, that's another story. Why does Belichick want to deal with 19-year-olds at a basketball school? Seems like a desperate move. It is. Nobody wants to hire him in the NFL. That's why he's going to college. I mean, that's the bottom line. Ryan's right on the Belichick deal. He's desperate to coach again, and nobody in the NFL will give him a coaching job. How do we know this? Nobody in the NFL has given him a coaching job. Ruffin retires, Lincoln takes over, and then leaves Tech for USC. Probably not. Going Chris, very illustrious band, 32 Degrees. Great band. We're trying to get them on the holiday show here. Would have had fewer comments about blustery weather with Ruffin. Yeah, that's true. Good point on that. So that is that's the question of the night. The what if Wednesday. What if it's not Tuberville? What if it's Ruffin? What do you think happens? And then the domino effect on everything else that happens because of that. By the way, you guys now probably have figured out one of my favorite movies at Christmas. It's a Wonderful Life. Remember that. All right. Remember that. No, hold on, Wendy. I got to back up there. Wendy, is Texas Tech brand nationally as big as Texas Tech fans and alumni think it is? It feels like anytime something good or bad happens, feels like the world spotlight is on. Ha ha. The brand nationally is, I mean, what are we talking about? Football or whatever? It's a regional university that doesn't have a national impact brand. It never has. There's the answer to that. Is there still a senator, Tommy Tuberville? Now, that's fascinating too, right? So Tech doesn't hire Tuberville. Tuberville gets a job. He goes somewhere. Somebody's going to hire him. You know, he's going to get a job. What does he do? I don't know. He's going to get a job. Was he a politician? He always was. Randy, why did Lincoln ever leave OU? Was the story true about Lincoln's off-field popularity with OU? Co-answer was that narrative OU fans on the dark web were promoting. Look at that. Here's the deal. Lincoln got crossways with Joe Castiglione, the AD. He got crossways with Barry Switzer, with Bob Stoops. And at a certain point, he was tired of their crap. They were tired of him. And that was the deal. No more, no less. I think he felt blindsided by some things that were going on behind the scenes, particularly leaving the Big 12. And at a certain point, he was like, I got a chance to get the hell out of here. I'm out of here. But his relationship was fractured within the athletic department with the AD, with the powers that be. No more, no less. No dark web co-eds, nothing like that. Occam's razor, baby. Occam's razor. Cliff doesn't come to Tech as OC. He ends up at Alabama. And why would he go there? Shows up at Tech as head coach a few seasons after that. Why the hell would he? Why is he going to be at Alabama? He's not going to be at Alabama. No, he's not going to be at Alabama. Now, the Cliff trajectory, again, at that time was just getting into college out of the NFL, taking a nothing job at Houston, then a better job at Houston, then the A&M deal. But he ain't going to Alabama. No. He hadn't failed enough to go to Alabama. Lincoln's "I will not be coach at LSU" statement was pretty classic. Yeah. 2013-14 was around the time Saban embraced opening up the offense. No, it was actually a little after that. You've got to go beyond that because again, I would say really it's 16-17 that Saban embraces opening up the offense. It's not 13-14. 13-14, he's still lobbying. He's griping about the number of plays being run and everything else. I think you're about 4 years off on that. This could be a universe where Mahomes becomes an Aggie. That's another one of those things that we get into and we go, okay, so Mahomes wanted to play baseball and football. He wanted to play both. And Tadlock was probably higher on him on a baseball side than Kingsbury was, but they were all in agreement. Yeah, we can make this work. You can do that here. Patrick Mahomes was a 3-star football recruit. 3-star football recruit. That he wasn't just coming out of high school. He wasn't Patrick Mahomes yet. And again, a lot of people thought that Mahomes was baseball and he was going to go baseball, and football schools were kind of, is this guy going to go baseball? What's he going to do? And they just really didn't invest a whole lot in it. So I don't think that Cliff Kingsbury wasn't Cliff Kingsbury yet when Mahomes shows up at Texas Tech. Whatever Cliff Kingsbury is now as a coach, he was not that guy at that point. Yes, he'd been the quarterback's coach and the half offensive coordinator there with Manziel, but no, don't read too much into that. Don't revise history too much. Robert Delgado, I'm here, Hyatt. Bill won't translate like his pupil Charlie. Interesting. Charlie Weiss, talking about Charlie Weiss, who went to Notre Dame and Kansas and other places. White House is a lot closer to College Station than it is to. I don't think that matters that much. White House is East Texas. It's really not that close to anything. I mean, by that, he would have gone to UT or he would have gone to SMU. Does Mayfield even come to Tech or stay at Tech? If Ruffin McNeil, okay, remember, if Ruffin's hired, Lincoln Riley's here, right? You're running the offense. You're doing the stuff. So if you think that these quarterbacks were coming for Cliff, they would have been coming for Lincoln Riley, right? That didn't really change any of the metrics. If the thinking is that it's Ruffin and he's able to keep Lincoln Riley, and they had a great relationship. Obviously, they coached together at Eastern Carolina, everything else. So I don't, Lincoln had more experience and was farther along in 2010 than Cliff was. I also don't think Ruffin ever introduces the monstrosity of white and red helmets. God bless you, Lincoln and Ruffin. I don't think you would have done it. I agree. I don't think they would have done it. We're still fighting that today. God bless us all. It's what alt history is fun, isn't it? It's fascinating. Turn on a dime. The domino effect, the what happens then, who doesn't come here, who does come here. And if they don't come here, they got to go somewhere else. And what do they do when they go somewhere else? Rich Rod to West Virginia. Welcome back, Carter. The man who could have been Tech head coach if his wife had liked Lubbock a little bit better. We also have the portal and Tech getting one of the most highly coveted portal offensive tackles in Hunter Zambrano out of Illinois State. 6'5", 305. He's got his own zip code. Bill Belichick going to UNC. What else are we missing? No basketball tonight. Basketball tomorrow. The men don't play again until the 16th against ORU. Remember, you heard it here first. Don't be in a hurry to see JT Toppin back on the court for Tech. All right? Write it down. 6:55 on Wednesday, the 11th of December. Don't be in a hurry to see JT Toppin back on the court. We're working on something here. We'll let you know. Randy, Mayfield and his family are off. Seems like an Aaron Rodgers starter kit. Could be. Don't know. And more importantly, don't really care. Yeah. I don't know. Everybody's family is off. Everybody's family is goofy weird, right? I mean, completely. Robert, what if Rich Rod's wife liked Lubbock? That's what we were talking about earlier. Welcome to the show. That with Rich Rod going to West Virginia, the man who was offered the job, his job for the taking in early December of 2000, and his wife doesn't dig the place and he bails out and he doesn't get the job. If he gets the job in Lubbock, obviously no Leach, you know. Now, you still have Kingsbury because Cliff was already here. Everybody remembers that correctly, right? So maybe it's Kingsbury and Rich Rod who begin this love affair of offense, and who knows what turns into. Don't know. But yeah. Yeah, if Rich Rod's wife digs West Texas, he's here. You run a, not an air raid, but you run a spread. You run a spread offense. Maybe Pat White comes to Lubbock. I don't know. That close, though. She showed up on a windy, dirty, dusty day. Really bad day. Fascinating to me. She disliked Lubbock, but Morgantown was okay with her. Literally, if I remember my history correctly, the day she was in town was one of those winter dirt days. The wind was blowing. It was cold and blustery. And she's like, hell no. I get it. I mean, what if the day had been nice? History turns on a dime. What if it had been nice? I just don't think they wanted. She didn't want to leave New Orleans, man. You know, they were digging New Orleans. All right, your last thoughts, comments, questions. We will be back with you, obviously, in the morning. Over underrated rate Thursday. We'll rate some things on Thursday. See what we got going on. Blessing in disguise. That's because you just didn't want to deal with Rich Rodriguez. David Collier is a long-standing. They got into a fight in 2008. I can't tell you where. I mean, I could. They got into a fight. Hands were thrown. It turned ugly. We covered it up in the local media. There were no arrest reports. But yeah, David Collier, Rich Rodriguez, don't get those two in the same damn room ever. You don't want to see that. Ever. You don't want to see that. So I understand what David's saying right there. Yeah. Big column in the morning. Big Thursday show tomorrow. All good stuff. Pay attention. Hey, David, will you be back with the 10 o'clock tonight? David Collier, KMAC 28 sports director, chiming in. Just getting out of some sort of orchestra concert or Christmas choir or something. Not really sure. Will we see you on the TV? If in fact you are able to be on the TV tonight at 10 o'clock. on KMAC 28, Red Raider Nation. And the answer is, wait for it. Yep. So there you go. A reason to stay awake. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We had a fun discussion tonight. Always appreciate you guys jumping in, spending a little time. The next thing you can do for us, each and every one of you, is share this on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 500 this week. We got a few more to go, but we're trying to get to 500 subs. That's really kind of a cool deal. Give it thumbs up and everything else. You can watch wherever you want, but just subscribe to all the channels. They're all free. Don't cost nothing. Thing you can do. Whatever's on your mind, as far as you like Facebook better or YouTube or Twitter or anything else. I got to hit this button here. That one worked. And then we call